Richie Dotson coming to you again from Chateau Debris, also known as my office. I've been thinking about when I was a kid, and I was very fortunate that I got to go to lots and lots and lots of jam sessions, and I got to play with lots of church folks, and I got to play with lots of folks who not sure had ever been in church. But some of the jam sessions had one thing in, all of them had one thing in common, or two. One is they all had 9 guitar players, and 8 out of those 9 guitar players, everybody except the kid who was learning to play rhythm guitar, were octogenarians who sang slow country stuff in D, and C, and E, and I didn't like that. But I learned to love that, because that afforded me an opportunity to expand a lot of my backup skills and some of the things that I learned from those experiences. They are still fun to do today. I'm going to show you a couple of things here, and I'm not going to write the tab for it unless I get 150 screaming emails. I need the tab, and then I'll get to it when I get to it. I got stuff to do. This is just sort of an after I knock off thing to unwind for me. So, this C, without the third finger, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, this ain't piano, this ain't one. So, I'm going to say first, second, third, fourth. You interpret it however you need to get by. Now, you know what a pinch is? A pinch is 2 or more. In this case, it's going to be 3. First string, second string, third string played simultaneously with the middle index and thumb. Enough of that. Now I'm going to deconstruct this C. So I've got everything here in a bar form except the C note. That sounds like a E minor. Well, it could be an E minor, but what we're going to do is hammer onto that C note. It's a pretty cool sound. Think Floyd Kramer piano sort of sound. Now that, of course, can be done anywhere that there's anywhere that shape is, you can do that. The next thing I'm going to talk about, and that's the primary thing here, is a bend. I'm going to call it a bend instead of a choke. Now, bend, I'm going to call this a whole. This is a whole note bend, not a half note. Half note, of course, the distance of 1 fret. Whole note, distance of 2 frets. We're going to do a full-blown whole step choke. Now, I'm going to play it out of this G again. Well, first I was in the C. Now, I normally don't play this shape this way. Earl played it a lot this way. Yay, Earl. I play it, and a lot of people play it this way. That way you can delineate or hammer into the third note of the scale, reach your sixth, and have a way to escape back to this shape behind it. But in this case, I'm going to play it this way so that I can play that. Now, still in G, but what you've done is do, re, mi. Which leads me to what I want to talk about, is the bends are, it sounds like an awful thing to have, the bends. But, in this case it's not. So, you're going to bend as much with your ear as you do with your fingers. And here's why. Your ear's going to tell you when to stop bending with whatever finger you're using to bend with. In this case, I'm using the index. So your ear needs to be developed enough, or you need to start developing it so that do, re, mi, your target note needs to be reached. Now, look how far that string is. It takes a while, so you don't stop until you get to the note, and try not to go past it. It takes a while, it takes a little practice. So this particular lick, you're going. The next one is going to be out of a D. Wow, you're just going to deconstruct. So you're going to choke up, and then I'm going to hit it again, but it's not how it works. So you're going to go up from the re, do, re, mi, from mi back to re, and then do. It sounds like this. The last thing I'm going to show you, and again, remember the ear thing is important here, because with this choke, you're way up here. You're into the 4th string, and I'm actually touching the 5th string here. So it requires a little more power, a lot more precision, but man, it's cool when you get it. This last thing is it's harmonizing C, G. Not even a C, but it's just harmonizing the scale. Next, we're going to do an old honky-tonk, kind of a piano-y type. Thumb, index, thumb, thumb, index, thumb, thumb, index. I want you to practice closing that whole lick with that particular lick with this shape, because that lands you back on G. And all you're doing is going from this G to this G. That's thumb on the 4th, index on the 2nd, thumb on the 4th again. Next thing we're going to do is a little D7. And that D looks like this, except you're dropping this tonic by a whole step with your index, and now the 5th note of the scale is being played with the middle finger, 3rd note of the scale is being played here. You got the flatted 7th here. Now the last thing we're going to do, the dramatic ending here, is I want to move this hand closer to the neck. Try not to dig a hole in your head. And you're going to play the tonic, the 5th, with the pinky and the middle. The index finger is going to be playing the re again. Do, re, and we're going to choke it all the way up to mi. We're going to remember that do, re, mi. Target note. So now we're going to end with that with this 3-finger pinch. 1st, 2nd, 3rd fingers. Let me put it all together, because all together it sounds like I've enjoyed as much of this as I can stand. It'd be a great kickoff to this, or something else like it. This is not about, hey, let's learn song X. It's about learning things that you can employ other places. Enjoy this. Watch it a few times. You'll pick up on it. Not a problem at all. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I may or may not have time to get back. I don't know. Just, you'll be fine. Pick up what you can with this. Learn to rely on your ear. Train your ear. Don't rely on tablature all the time. You're crippling yourself, folks. Enjoy it. Until the next time, this is Richie Dotson with Acoustic Box LLC, acousticbox.com.